Say that welcome again to the Mound Bayou Museum. We're looking forward to many other people coming, and we really thank you for coming out tonight and being a part of this grand situation that we believe is like right at the start. You know, Mound Bayou is always at the start of something, and this is actually at the start of something. And so tonight we're celebrating that as well, and we have many people here that's helping us celebrate. So again, welcome. And then I brought this beautiful lady here and with me because she is going to bring a special welcome on behalf of the city of Mound Bayou.
Well, good evening, good evening. And again, on behalf of the many citizens here in Mound Bayou, we are so glad that you are here. We say that you will leave tonight inspired to tell others and welcome many to come again to visit the museum. And again, on behalf of Mound Bayou, Mississippi, our mayor, Leighton Aldred, and our other fine men and women of the Board of Aldermen, welcome to Mound Bayou.
Back part of the museum too.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Rick, one of y'all, yes, well.
Sorry about that.
And I'm going to introduce Ms. Kendra Phipps, who's going to introduce our guest as we further the program. Ms. Kendra.
Thank you. For the ones that don't know me, I am Kendra Phipps, born and raised right here in Mound Bayou, Mississippi. I'm the CEO of Achieving High Results, which is a marketing company. Quick story, I was just publishing a book and I just wanted to come in and look at the museum because I did not know it was here. And lo and behold, I got bit by the Johnson bug. It's a bug, right? And the rest have been history. I've been working alongside of the museum, and I'm very passionate about the project. I'm very passionate about what's right here inside of the city limits of Mound Bayou, which will bring us here today, and why you're here today. And so I'm so excited. So what I will do is ask a few questions from my panel. I'm going to allow them to share 30 seconds, a little bit about who they are, and then they're going to pass the mic back to me. I'm going to start from my right to my left, guys. So from my right to my left, and then I'll get the mic back, and then I will ask the question to Rick, and then I will ask the question to Jalen, and then I will ask the question to Keith. And then we will wrap up, and then Daryl will come back and thank the sponsors, and then we get to go see what's in the back. So I'm really excited. So 30 seconds, could you please share a little bit about who you are, and then I'm going to come back and ask my question.
Sure. My name is Rick Olson. I'm the CEO of Olson Visual. We are a large format graphics company that have really progressed in making custom displays for most of the entertainment studios. We do a tremendous amount of work in Los Angeles and New York, but I got hooked on the Johnson bug as well. And, started this as just trying to figure out how to use what was given to us, and it really became a passion thing, and I just had to come here. I flew all night to get here. Wow. And I'm glad to finally see it. But we try to tell stories through graphic and displays.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Rick. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I was bitten by the Johnson bug as well. But my name is Keith Moshaw. I am an unintentional filmmaker, the man who was behind the untold story of Emmett Lewis Till that prompted the case to be reopened in 2004 And also, I'm the filmmaker, producer, writer. My producing partners are not here with us this evening, but I'm also one of the producers and writers of Till. And so it's truly a blessing to be here this evening, you know, to share this moment, this monumental occasion with you. Get twisted.
Thank you.
Hi, how's everybody doing today? I'm Jalen Hall. I'm an actor, but overall I'm a student of what I've been learning recently at the side of this great man, all these great men and women here in Mound Bayou. So I'm just visually learning everything. But on top of that, I play the role of Emmett Till in the movie Till. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you all for being here as well. A little wraparound. There you go. Oh, he's not going? Oh.
We don't need him yet.
No, we don't need him.
He's coming, and he's a big part while we're here. So I want to start with you, Rick. I know you received a call, and after you got that call, and I really want us to tell you, after you received that call, what made you make the decision to say, yes, I'm all in, and to see this from the beginning to the end? Could you quickly share about that?
And add why you took that red eye coming all the way to Mississippi.
Our customer, who I've known many years, Brandon Miller at MGM, gave me a call. And he said, you know, we actually worked on the Till movie release with displays in Los Angeles and New York, and maybe a few other places. I can't remember it all, but he said there's this project that the producers in London really want to do this, and they're working with the museum, and they would like us to participate in creating this and funding this display that you'll see. And I had not seen the movie. I watched the movie, and working with our Oscar is our designer. He lives in Austin. We started looking at all the materials that were available, and he put together everything. And we worked with the producers in London and Kendra and Daryl, and we came up with it became a passion thing. So we got hooked in it. So that's why we just kept going. And I flew all night because these things only happen once, really, these gala openings. And it's like a wedding or a family get-together. And I just wanted to be a part of it.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you so much. So the next question is for Jalen. And I want to know, when you looked at the story, Emmett Till, what impact did it play? Because you were 14 at the time. So what was the biggest impact that this story has made upon your life and moving forward?
Great question. I feel like, speaking on behalf of the youth of our world today, a lot of us, or what's going on in our lives, can be one-track minded, only what's happening in front of us or in the moment, or on TikTok or social media. I'm guilty of that too. My mom will tell you I can't put my phone down for 5 seconds. But after going through, such an educational and enlightening role, you really get to look at life and history beyond just what's going on in your life, or what's happening to you. Now you get to see what's been happening, continuing to happen, not only in your life but in others' lives, and how it's affected them and indirectly affected yourself. So I think living with knowing this and living with it has led me to carry myself and react and teach, if I can, in many different ways that I otherwise wouldn't have if I didn't go through this. So hopefully I can spread that amongst our ranks so that our future is looking just a little bit brighter by the day. But yeah, so overall I would say that this is really giving me that opportunity to have deeper and better outlook on life and spread that.
Thank you, Jalen. Now, this question is for Keith, and I really want you to share with us, because in the city of Mound Bayou, there was a doctor that did extremely well here in Mound Bayou with several different businesses, and his name was Dr. Howard. And there's a two-part question. One part of the question is, could you share from, I know we have the film, but more of an insight from what Dr. Howard, or how Dr. Howard played a significant role with Mamie Till Mobley for justice for her son, one. Number two, when you look at the Mound Bayou Museum, what role do you see the Mound Bayou Museum playing in keeping the story alive? And I will turn the mic over to you. Do I need to repeat it?
I'll probably ask you the second question. This first one. Dr. Howard, let me see. That's one of my heroes. I like to tell people, you know, as a kid, I was never much for comic books. You know, I was never much for cartoons, Super Friends, you know, watching, you know, these characters on screen in cartoon. My heroes were people like Dr. Howard, Medgar Evers, and Ruby Hurley, Amzie Moore, and those are the stories that was told to me as a child by my parents, who are educators. And you know, when I first started this journey, this Emmett Till journey, I was 10 years old when I first came across his photograph in Jet magazine, and that image that I saw stays with me, and I can never shake it out of my head. And it's just amazing when one goes on a journey, you don't know where this journey would leave you. You don't know when it would end and how it would end. But this has been my 30-year journey for myself, to tell the story of Emmett Till and also preserve the history of these sheroes and heroes who is also part of the story. Now, Dr. Howard was one of those people, and this is his home at one time. And, you know, when I think of Dr. Howard in this moment, I can't stop thinking about Mother Mobley, who was my mentor. Emmett Till's mother was my mentor and friend for 8.5 years, and how she spoke so greatly about this great man, Dr. Howard. This is the place where not only Mother Mobley and her family had come in 1955, this was also a place that became a sanctuary for members of the Black press and all those who are of color who had come to Mississippi to actually witness this historic trial of 1955. But Dr. Howard was, you know, was also someone. He was the founder and the leader of the Regional Council of Negro Leadership. He was also an NAACP official. He was also the mentor to Medgar Evers. So many others. Come on, help me out. Amzie Moore. Fannie Lou Hamer. And of course, you can mention
Jesse Jackson.
Yeah, you can mention Reverend Jesse Jackson, because Operation Push, which is now Rainbow Push, came from Dr. Howard. But Dr. Howard was the equivalent of, I shouldn't say equivalent. I should say before Dr. King, there was a Dr. Howard.
That's right.
And many would say Dr. King's traits came from Dr. Howard.
That's right.
And so there's so much to learn about this great man who many who said was a Black militant, had his own army, you know, his soldiers, his own, just conglomerate of folks surrounding him and supporting him. I mean, there's so much to say. I can't say it all right now. But it was amazing to watch Roger Gouverneur Smith bring Dr. Howard to life on screen. And I had chills when he came out in character and he greeted me. And all I've ever wanted to do, even with the, just all the energy behind Till itself, all I ever wanted to do was to resurrect my mentor, the late Mrs. Mamie Till Mobley, and also tell the stories of these great people behind her. But this city was a sanctuary for many, not only in 1955 for, of course, Mrs. Mobley, but for a lot of people. And so I just hope that at this point in time, as we continue to tell the stories of these heroes and even commemorate this evening with this story of Till, with this exhibition, there's a lot more that needs to be done. There's so much history here that needs to be preserved. And I'm just here hoping that I could also continue to help make that happen. It was interesting because 30 years ago I met your father. When I first started, when I first said I wanted to tackle the story of Emmett Till, told my mom I had to go to Mound Bayou. And it was Mr. Johnson's best friend, who was a friend, one of my best friend's fathers, that actually connected us. And so I know your father ever since day one when I started. And we've come a long way. And so I'm just excited to be here. I thank you, Rick, for all the wonderful work that you're doing, because I took a peek. I'm sorry. I took a peek. I was trying not to look, but I took a peek. It's amazing. So I can't wait to get up and see the whole exhibit. But thank you for having me. I hope I answered the question. Wait a minute, what's the second question?
What's part two?
What's part two?
So part two was what is significant? What is the role for the Mound Bayou Museum?
Well, preservation. It is important. People often ask me, Keith, why you keep coming back to Mississippi? And many of you know me. You've been around me for a while. I keep coming back in this area. There's so much that has happened here, so many great stories. Most of the movements started here. And so this is the only place I feel that I feel the need that I have to continue to tell these stories to awaken the sleeping giant in us once again, that sleeping giant for change. Because we truly want a new movement to start. If we truly want to see change in this country, we must understand where it comes from, how it was started. How was the movement of the 1950s and 60s? Where did it start? This is ground zero for civil rights in this country, and this is something that we must preserve and we must continue to teach.
Thank you. So at this time, we'd like to bring up Daryl, Herman. We're going to thank our sponsors because Keith has already taken a peek and everybody else want to peek too.
I promise I have one eye closed.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I just want to add something to what Keith said. Mound Bayou has become ground zero for many things. And then we're proud because there's many good things that needed to happen. There needed to be that incubator in Mound Bayou was. And I just want to bring one other thing, Keith, if you don't remember. I'm going to make you remember. Because Mound Bayou was what it was, and we believe that when Mamie Till stood up after they killed her son and said, I want the world to see that blood that was shed became alive. And it began to call out from the ground. Because biblically, it has that ability to do it. And that's why these things continually happen. Mound Bayou became a participator to make that happen, to make that. And so, Keith, when you came, not long ago, you remember you sat here 5 hours with us.
Yes, I do.
In this museum, in this incubator, in this sanctuary place. And I believe it was the hand of the Lord that you thought that you were going to be looking for days in boxes.
Oh, yes.
To find a paper that stood for justice that you had been looking for. And you left and you went right to the paper.
That's right.
And Keith was the one that found that
It was a team of us who found the warrant.
That
It was
warrant.
for Carolyn Bryant's arrest. Yes.
that's right for
I
Calvin
was
Brown's
here that
arrest.
day. I
And
forgot
you
I
were
was
here 5 hours.
I forgot.
We sanctuaried you. We held you. And so I think it was a symbol of things to come.
That's right.
Okay, so I want to say that. And then, so we thank all of the participants in this. We thank specifically Eon Productions,
Yes, please. Barbara Broccoli. Yes.
Barbara Broccoli, come on.
The whole Till crew,
That whole what?
Till production team.
That whole Teal crew, come on, let's get in the hand.
Costume designer, which you will see.
That's
So
right.
many people to thank.
So come on, did we do them all?
Yeah, well, the whole Till family, crew, team on Till, the movie, the whole Till, the movie family, MGM, Amazon, Eon, I think we got pretty much
that everybody?
our producing partners, Fred Zolo, Barbara Broccoli, Whoopi Goldberg, Thomas Levine, Michael Riley, our great director, Chenoya Chiku. Yeah, who else? Mr. Jalen Hall. Danielle. There's so many other people we could thank. Marcy Rogers, which you see her work in the exhibit. Who else?
Keith Beauchamp.
Oh,
Keith Beauchamp, let's give him a hand. And then on the end, we went and grabbed Rick Olson. So let's give him a hand. All right, so Jayla. All right, so Keith, if you just put your hand on it, and if you put your hand on it, everybody stick your hand on it. Jayla, yeah. Let's get a picture right there with your hands on it. Everybody look, get pictures like that, and then we smiling. I can't hold it that long. All right. Okay. And all right. Okay. So we good? All right. Jalen is going to cut it and hold it. So you take your hand and hold it on the other side. You're gonna cut with one hand, and you're gonna hold it after you cut it. Just hold it up, and then we're gonna let it go. All right.
Got you.
All right. Go ahead and cut. All right, take pictures, and hold it, cut it, and then now let it go. Let's take it. All right. Okay. So now we have opened it up. Y'all please come in and enjoy yourself.